What's up, y'all? It's AJ Brewer here, man. I'm at the corner 12th and Bainbridge here, right at Brewer's Cafe. I wanted to be honest and open a little bit today. As a black voter who doesn't vote or support the Democratic Party anymore, I want to acknowledge a couple of things. The first of which is the historical injustices that my family and ancestors have faced in the past. To be honest with you, you know me, you know that's why I quit my job. As a stockbroker, I moved back home 10 years ago to my historically black neighborhood. I started to support our teachers, our schools, as well as our athletes. I've created businesses in this neighborhood that would inspire and hire, creating sort of a mini investment vehicle for my community. If you talk to, though, the average Trump and Kamala voter, you'll find that they all have that in common, a need to improve schools, businesses, communities, and cultures. Instead of blaming and complaining, what we want to be is personally responsible for the direction of our lives, which ironically is what your average liberal does too. Your average successful liberal participates in capitalism and they exercise personal responsibility in their lives, but will sell victimhood to their followers. Now, how do I and other blacks go from saying all of that, voting Democrat, to now voting for Trump? It's simple, but I want to keep this video pointed at the characteristics that you'll find in most, if not all, black Trump voters. White privilege, we believe, is a myth, right? And it's easy to see. It's sad that within the walls of our homes, our family teaches us that we are exceptional, but still perpetuate the lie that in general, white people are somehow ahead of us, are more privileged than us. We tend to conclude that the 1% of white males represents the majority of white people. For example, based on the numbers, at least half of the white males in this country will kill, I believe, to have the life that my mother has. As a furniture store manager, my mom is significantly more privileged than the majority of white men. When you exclude the top 10%, my mother is more educated, makes more money, and enjoys a more resourceful life with benefits that the average white male doesn't. She is surrounded by her loved ones, right? She spends time with her grandkids every day, time with her kids every day. When in a pinch, she has a circle of friends and family that'll look out for her. She feels comfortable. Overall, she's in good health. She's not on depression meds. And at 62 years old, she still has her parents and they're alive and gets along with most people in her life. She would be more qualified and be in a much better position to be hired than at least half of these so-called privileged white males and white females. And although my mother is not a Trump supporter, this is how most Trump black voters feel. This is how they think. That no matter what the media says, or the church or pop culture says, hell, even if the black Trump supporter isn't financially better off, we feel that we have every opportunity in this country to be whatever we want. It's not that black Trump voters don't understand that somehow whites or some whites prefer or preference our race over objective standards, like being qualified for the position. We just believe, or we don't believe, I should say, that it's a major obstacle in our life. These people who use race as a metric are Democrats and not Republicans. The second thing is they don't believe in handouts as a way to rectify the problems that plague some in our community. One of the best ways to motivate the human spirit, I was taught, is to teach a man how to fish. The moment you begin to give that man a fish, we become more susceptible to government dependency. Keeping us in a state of dependency, I believe, is the ultimate goal of the federal government. Again, speaking for myself, I'm a firm believer in social welfare programs, but they should be designed to encourage less dependency and not more. More hand-ups, like opportunity zones, I feel will be a great place to start. And the last thing you'll see in black Trump supporter is, the industry of diversity, equity, inclusion. And I do mean industry because that's what it's become. Is it toxic? It's toxic and it does not inspire people to select our best and brightest. Naturally creating a culture of diversity and inclusion is kind of what Brewers is known for. Just 20 minutes ago, a friend of mine was so shocked at the amount of diversity that walked through my doors at Brewers. He joked that he saw 2 drug dealers, 2 drug users, a Jew, a Republican, a Mexican, a woman, and several kids, all within 10 minutes. He joked that I should figure out a way to package that natural diversity of Brewers and sell it to corporations. Everyone that comes in our space is welcome. My family, my wife, my kids, and I are able to communicate and commune with so many different races and classes of people. But herein lies the problem. Once you allow what comes natural to be influenced by money, it gets corrupted. And that's every time. DEI chooses my skin color over my merits. In fact, benefiting us from the very discrimination that we claim to be suffering from. Judge me off my merit, not my skin color. Dr. King said that. It's like history is repeating itself. Instead of degrading and disrespecting our Black brothers and sisters for voting for Trump or not voting for Kamala, open up the conversation for dialogue. Remember, being responsible for your personal future, your success, treating others like you want to be treated, working hard, gives you more satisfaction than waiting on handouts. And more than likely and more probably will get you further in life. I promise.